8 countries where men outnumber women. 8. Japan. Japan's male population is larger than the female one, from ages 15 to 74. But the situation is reversed. After age 75, most unmarried men are already gone by then. Japan has consistently had more men since the Meiji era. But before modernization, men had a higher mortality rate due to wars and illnesses. With better medical care, that's no longer the case. 7. China. China has 55 million more men than women. That's roughly equivalent to the entire population of South Korea. This is the consequence of the one-child policy. The policy was in effect from 1979 to 2015. Many couples prioritized having a son. Girls couldn't work on the farm or carry on the family name, so they were often aborted or killed after birth. By 2030, more than a quarter of Chinese men will be single. 6. India. 51.6% of India's population is male. The country historically had a preference for sons and male heirs. India is developing, but the gender gap exacerbates human trafficking for brides. The scarcity of brides has an unexpected effect. Families no longer feel pressured to save up for dowries. 5. Kuwait. Kuwait holds 8% of the world's oil reserves. The Kuwaiti dinar is the most valuable currency in the world. Over 70% of the population consists of immigrants. Most of them are male workers, attracted by the country's economy. They come from Arab countries, where it's the man's job to provide for his family. 4. Maldives. The Maldives is a male-dominated society. Patriarchal control extends to marriage, autonomy, and education. Only a handful of women hold government positions. But that's not all. A third of the population is made up of immigrants. Most of the immigrants are men. 3. Oman. Oman has a youthful demographic. 43% of its population is under the age of 15. The country has a slightly higher male-to-female birth ratio of 1.05, and most babies survive to adulthood. Oman's economy is dependent on oil. This attracts male immigrants from India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. 2. United Arab Emirates. For 15 years, the UAE had the highest proportion of men in the world. Today, roughly 69% of its population is male, and over 85% of the population are immigrants and expatriates. Emiratis usually go for government or military jobs. That leaves infrastructure and tourism up to foreigners. Plus, the oil industry is booming. It often requires physical strength, attracting male workers. Foreign laborers can't obtain permanent residency. They can't really bring their families either. To get a family visa, their salary must be at least $1,000. 1. Qatar. Male residents make up 75% of the population in Qatar. That's because over 80% of the total population are foreigners. The majority are male laborers from South Asian countries. They come to work in Qatar's construction industry. You can't just bring your family to Qatar on a resident visa. To do this, you need to earn more than $2,700. Most foreign laborers don't make that much. Rent costs are also very high. Families need to rent apartments exclusively. But if a man is alone, he can share an apartment with others.